Hello, hello. Happy Friday. I am a little bit later than normal. I had to go to the DMV this morning. Um, Honestly, it was a pretty smooth experience, but something that blows my mind. So I get there, my appointment's at 8:30, and I get there at like, I don't know, 8:18 or something like that. And there's already 13 people in line, estimating. So I'm whatever, I'm number 14. We're all just waiting outside the door. And then when they finally open the doors at about 8:30, the line just kind of collapses and everyone moves forward. And the people who are obviously behind me, who they know they were behind me, they talked to me as they entered and said, "Is this a line to the DMV?" Just they go in front of me, and I'm like, whatever, I'm not in a rush. But why have a line if people aren't going to stay in the line? Anyway, that's that. It was pretty fast. But yeah, that was the only, when I went to book the appointment, that was the only day and the only time. They didn't let me pick any other day or time or a different DMV even. So I was like, maybe they're slammed. Maybe I need to just go at that time. So yeah, it interrupted the stream a little bit, but we're on track. I want to do a launch today. So we got some cleanup stuff to do. Hey, Xyletics. Hey, Phil. All right, so it's a release day for playtesters. Going to push the overhauled treasure system to see what people think. We just have some clean up to do first. All right, now let's actually type that into the chat. There we go. All right, so what is on the cleanup section? Because I think that's all we have to do. Do more balance. Oh yeah, right. I had this written down yesterday. I think that getting free treasure chests by default is pretty crazy. So I wonder if chests would take slightly longer to open. You'll eventually be swimming in keys anyway. Plus 1 minute may be reasonable. Also, maybe make iron keys do minus 30 seconds rather than minus 20. You know, if we do make them do minus 30, then we can increase the 10% chance of an item, which might be kind of interesting. So let me think about this. 3 minutes is 180 seconds, which is 9 keys right now. If we do 30-second keys, it'd be 6 keys. So we could give from 10% up to 15% maybe. I'll feel a little bit better. I wonder if we should just do that anyway. Problem is, if you don't have key rarity, you get a lot of iron keys. Special, what is it called? Key rarity. Yeah, here it is. There's a 10% chance to get a rare key. So 90% chance to get an iron key. I would need to test it. Yeah, we need to test it. You can't really increase it to like 3 minutes and 30 seconds because a lot of the rare keys do minus a minute. You wouldn't want to have it take a whole other key. But going up to 4 minutes by default is quite a lot. I don't think I want to change that. Yeah. I don't think I want them to take longer to open. If anything, we could give them out less frequently. But the iron key question is still kind of intriguing. Should we change them from 20 seconds to 30 seconds? Huh. So it would take 33% fewer keys, well, iron keys specifically, which means you're saving money, I guess. I could probably figure out how much you'd be saving, but it's a little bit difficult because there's a 90% chance you get an iron key. And then depending on which key you get is like X money, and an iron key is worth Y money. And there's rarities within this too. So I'd have to like break it down. But anyway, it probably works out to you saving 33% of your money. No, I don't think we need to do that for now. Let's just leave it. We could still make iron keys do minus 30 seconds without changing anything else. And then give them a 15% chance to give a free item. But I don't think that's needed. cause the player to save a bit more money. Iron Crusader. All right, so Deep Forest is pumping out loot. We should probably tone it down. Yeah, I do think we should tone it down. I still think it's just too good. And we kind of showed that yesterday. Deep Forest. All right, so we're giving out like 7 mana potions, 6 canes, some iron shields, and then 1 pair of boots. I'm not really sure why we're giving out the boots. So let's figure out these stats. We're giving out, let's see, 1 + 1 + 3 + 1. So 6 to 17 items. So that's what, 11.5 items on average. And I said I just think that's a little too much. We could make iron shields only give out 2 sometimes. Because like, or maybe 1 cane less than what we're giving out. All right, I'm going to just tweak some numbers here. So let's say 2 to 5 canes, 2 to 3 shields, and remove the boots. And maybe 2 to 6 potions. What does this do? I'm just randomly changing stuff. So now this is still 6 to 14 items, which is now 10 items on average. Yeah, that's probably pretty good. Yeah. Okay. Nerf loot of Deep Forest. It's still just too good compared to the Inferno. We used to give 80% more loot in the Inferno, but it would take about 100% more time when you could swing it. You probably had a chance to lose if that happened too. Now it should be, I don't know how much more loot. I guess we could figure that out. I guess we should figure that out. Title screen, can we just hit Command Z? Nice, we can. Yeah. So this will give us the numbers so that I don't need to guess. And they are these numbers. Well, whatever. 144 and 257. 257.5 divided by 144. That's not right. Oh, God. That's not right at all. Right? This doesn't know that we're in challenge mode yet. Oh, no. All right, town challenge mode functions. I guess we need to put it in here. I gotta write a note about this. What is it? Set up challenge mode if necessary. Yeah. Yeah, I was testing the wrong things. I don't know what the old values were then. I guess we're gonna find out what the new values are. Hey, Chef Alton, how you doing? All right, new values are 165 and 376. Honestly, this is probably what it should be. Yeah. Now the Inferno gives 2.3x the loot and takes 2x the time in some cases. So now it's actually worthwhile for you to go to if you can do it. But also I think the Deep Forest is giving too many items. Okay, so let's go check this in. And then not these things. Revert those. Commit this. And then go change... What's that function called? Debug, print. Here it is. Note, make sure to print it after choosing challenge mode first. If you want the CM specific data. Oh, I should type this out, right? If you're checking that specific data, it will always print the story mode data. I shouldn't say it will always, it will print. Yeah, there. Okay. Clarify readme. So that's done. Seek food isn't very appealing. Yeah. Not totally sure what I want to do about this one. But it's got, I think, 3 levels of it. Seek food. What, auto eat? Here it is. So it goes from 10 to 5 to 0. I think we should just cut out the level where it's at 10 seconds. Like, if you want this perk, you probably want it to eat items pretty frequently. I think having fewer levels for that would be good. I'm going to try that. Yeah, the rest of this should be fine. Make, what is this called? Seek food more appealing. It used to be 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 0 seconds. I cut out the 10-second level so that you upgrade it more quickly. Final quest seems pointless. We should have it take like 30 gloves or something. I think I hard-coded this here. Yeah. So we could just hard-code a final quest too. What is that? This? So yeah. All right, fine, whatever. Oh yeah. Else if minimum quest complete equals 3. Okay, so for this, I wanted to take in those gloves. What are they called? Leather gloves? I don't know what they're called. Hey, Meridia. Glove. Yeah, they're leather gloves. I wanted to take in like 25 of these. And then Nick can take in the same number of canes. I think that's fine. Yeah, that's probably good. Make the final quest more appealing. It used to take fire swords. It now takes leather gloves. This means you don't need to beat the Inferno to do the quest. Also takes quite a lot of those gloves, but you should be able to get them very quickly. So I'm not going to test this or balance this. We're just going to assume it works. All right, skeletons, you can put keys back in key storage if there's room. Drop off item. All right, so how do we figure this out? Is there anywhere here that figures out if you have a key, get valid item destination for entity? So if it's a key, find chest for key. Otherwise, check all this other stuff. I think what we should do is we should check your key storage. If key storage question mark will accept item. Then do that. How does this look? Get all item displays and check if they'll accept the item. How about we just bail out of this first? If item.item category is not equal to a key, then then return false. Oh, this is storeroom. Oh my god, we can't do that. I just don't want to iterate over all 4 displays when we know for sure this isn't going to work. Key storage probably has its own will accept item, right? It's not virtual. We could make it virtual, I think. I don't think that violates the interface, does it? And then just override that here. Override bool. If item category is not equal key, otherwise return base. Okay. Yeah, it shouldn't. Okay, good. Let's go try that. It should be pretty simple to test this. So before this, workers would pick up a key from key storage, and then if there was no chest for it, they would put it into the warehouse. Now they should put it back into key storage if they can, which may not always be possible, but let's go try this. So we're going to open these. We're going to add a bunch of workers. Let them clear that stuff out. Get some more chests here. Oh yeah, the problem is they're just spewing out keys. Oh, we have 128 overflow? We're never going to get through this. I don't have the nuclear hat. I thought it was a waste of material, so I opted not to get one at the Hey Free Technic. Oh, Mr. I make video games, so nobody will bother me by unit test coverage of my code. You know it. How's it going? I do not like collecting clutter, and I see that as clutter. All right, this is what we do now. So how many keys will it take? I probably should have just counted. That didn't work. Let's just keep doing this until it works out. Maybe it'll work this time. That's weird. They're still putting it in the warehouse, and they're picking it up to put it back in the warehouse. That's not good. Haven't got any swag since 2020. Nothing? Really? Salesforce isn't giving out like a t-shirt or a cup or something like that? I'm surprised. So this is just broken, huh? Oh, whoops. Is the problem that I need to check to see if it's a key? I guess we didn't need to override anything there. I'm not sure how this works. Oh, I should have saved. Drat. Well, I guess we got to do this again. Fine. Get some more workers. Do they count as clutter? No. You use socks. You don't use a noodler hat. So that was all fine. They're going to go pick up these keys, and they will not all be able to put them in. But now they're picking them up so that they can put them into the warehouse. Are they going to pick up these keys? I think what they're doing is they're finding that there's a destination and then just dropping these off, so they're moving around forever. Prefer employers that pay me enough to buy clothes instead of forcing me to pretend I'm a fan of their brand. So I think there's like a category of good that you would be okay receiving but not buying. So as an example, I've seen like company jackets and it's got a small logo on them. They're pretty nice. Like I probably wouldn't buy something like that for myself, but it's just a jacket made by like a popular jacket company that they just put the tech company's logo on. But yeah, if it's, I've never liked representing like a big company that I work at. So the clothing has to be really nice to overcome that. All right, so how's this working? Pick up item. Because maybe this isn't as simple as I thought. How does this work? What enters pickup item? Worker wander. Find item source function. Okay, how does that work? There should be something here about finding keys. Find ground item. Find warehouse item. Find key for chest. Okay, how does that work? Find key for chest. Okay, go find some keys. Check on the ground, check in the warehouse, check in key storage. But there's got to be a chest that's actually going to accept it. Oh, wait. If it's open, will return false. Yeah, what? This returns null. Why are they picking up keys? Yeah, they're just doing it over and over, so it should be pretty easy to figure out why. I just put a breakpoint here. Yeah. So there's one chest, right? No, is there one chest? There probably is. Yeah, there's one chest. But acceptable keys should be empty. It is empty. So this returns null. So then what's going on? If item source is null, return false. So find key for chest returns null no matter what. So then we go to the next function. So how are they picking up keys? Oh, because it's in the warehouse? Oh, how does that work? It's just got to have a valid destination. Oh, man. You got a package when we join, but if you want other merch, you have to pay, which I think is silly. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, CJR. Have you had any negative impact on your career related to your game? I'm also building one and wondering if I should make its devlog public. Negative impact on your career? I'm not even certain what that would be. If you were to say, like, have you had negative impact robbing banks or something, I'd be like, yeah, I could see how that could happen. But why would a game even cause a negative impact? My answer is no, I haven't. But I'm just not even sure what would that look like. I've never heard of this before. And I wonder if I should make this devlog public. I think you should. Yeah. Again, assuming the game isn't about, like, I don't know, just like, you know, obscene violence or some incredibly questionable content, then I could see it potentially affecting your career. And even then, I'm not sure it would. I guess it depends on how controversial it is, right? Like, technically all shooter games are kind of inherently violent, but that's not really controversially violent. Anyway, yeah, I'm not sure why it'd be a problem. Anyway, we found the issue for this. So it's get random actionable warehouse display. So it's pretty much only pick up a key if it turns out that there is a good destination for it. That's what I got to figure out. But I don't think this is worth doing for right now. So let's just can this. Yeah. It's just not a high priority thing. I still want to do this, but it's not super easy because of, what is that function? What is that function? Yeah, because of this. It would find that the key storage is a valid destination for a key from the warehouse without being a good destination. So workers would just keep picking up keys from the warehouse only to set them back down. I'm not actually sure why they didn't put them in the key storage, but I'm not too concerned about it. All right, I think flying guild supplies is based on item types. Yeah, I don't know what's going wrong with this. I'm kind of curious. How is this working? We go through each, whoops. Oh, let's reload that. Is there not a way in docs to insert a code snippet instead of just being text? No. Let me just check something really fast before I say that. No, yeah. Now there is a code pretty extension or something that I have. How does that work? If we just type something like print hello x equals 1 plus 2 and do format code. Authorization required. Okay, I don't know what that is. I'm not going to do that. Lame, but not a big issue. Yeah. Yeah, Obsidian has them. I probably should use Obsidian for something. So, Google Docs does have markdown detection now. So if I put a backtick around this, it will format it green and in a monospace font. But that's not syntax highlighting. That's just green in a monospace font. All right, so flying guild supplies. How's this working? We go through each item ID. And then either the item ID works or it doesn't. Okay, this explains that it was not probability and that I should have questioned this further. I said this the other day, that we had like 7 items and there's a 30% chance of something happening. So to get a 30% chance on all of these is 0.3 to the 7th power or whatever it was. This is such a tiny number that it should have signaled, hey, look at that code a little bit more. But I thought, nah, you could have that freak possibility that just happens. Well, now I'm realizing what I did wrong. So this is creating them all as discrete items. If we're going to create them all as discrete items, then we need the chance to be on each discrete item. So we put this here and then the else in here as well. And now I think it should look good. So we run the chance on every single individual item and we create it, send it to the guild. Otherwise we add it to remaining loot. And it's not quantity. It's going to be 1 here. Okay. We should go test this now. Thankfully, it's easy to test. By the way, CJR, are you on your sabbatical now? All right, so this is not going to happen. Let's do that. All right, so what am I doing? I'm testing flying guild supplies. Oh, we can't even get flying guild supplies. This is pointless. Yeah, whoops. Let's do this. Flying guild supplies. Let's just make it so that at level 0, there's a 35% chance. And then save this. Actually, we don't even need to save. Well, we kind of do. Let's do that. Save. Quit. One of my coworkers just put in the resignation, and they were the glue sticking this team together. Sorry to hear that. I think it's tough for the people when people leave, but I don't think it's tough for the company when people leave. Unless it's a tiny company. And it's just sort of sad that it works out that way. Because if it were tough for the company, it wouldn't happen. Nobody cares about the people. All right, so there should be an innate 35% chance, which means 1 out of 3 of these items should go into the guild automatically. Let's see. Yep, that was good. And this too. That one didn't send any of them. That's fine. I mean, it is probability. And 1 out of 3 is not such a crazy chance. Yeah, so that sent 2/3 there. So I think this is working, but the way we'd know for sure is by getting a bunch of special keys, building the key grinder, getting the special keys, and then putting these in. So now we have tons of items. Well, not tons, but we have 5. So if I put these 5 in, 2 went to the guild, and 1 went to the guild. Yeah, I think this is looking good. Just a super smart person going to a startup. Yeah. Well, could you go with them? Would you want to? Ooh, I just opened. Okay, so how many are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so out of 11, we'd expect about 3 to go in. So let's see how many get sent into the warehouse. 7. So 4 went in. Yeah, okay, cool. This is working better. All right, fix bug with flying guild supplies. So this should not be checked in. And this is pretty much the exact same lines of code, just in a different order, except the quantity changed here. Previously, we were sending all or none of an item type into the guild. Now we do it per item, per individual item. Does that make it better or worse? I guess it averages out to the same. Wait, does it? I don't know. I'm not going to try to figure this out. I'm done with probability for today. It's a React C# app for truck drivers. Wow. Be the only dev for it since it's not super intensive. I also think they'd be able to pay me. You know, the other thing too is that environment might not be very nice to work in. I think being a solo dev, my guess is that on average, this is not appealing to most developers. That's my guess. I think it might sound good, but I think you get there and you work there for like 6 months or a year and you're like, I don't like this setup. And the reasons why, at least, and again, this is my speculation and maybe this isn't really true for everybody, but one is that it's probably not a tech first company. So you probably get treated as like, I guess I'll just say with less respect. 2 is you have no one to work with or learn from or delegate to. And for them it might be, yeah, I'm not trying to say that no one would want this. Obviously people would, or else they wouldn't exist. But yeah. But those couple of reasons I think would make it tough for some people. All right, I think this is, yep, that's done. And it feels like I should have maybe about 2 more key storage slots. The problem is making this look aesthetically pleasing. I think in order to do this, we'd make it a 2x3 or a 3x2. So it'd pretty much have to be a rectangle. Because how else would you arrange 6 things and have it look nice? In like a hexagon? I think it'd look weird. So what I'm talking about is right now we have 4 slots. And if I put keys in them, like that's what this looks like. We could just add 2 more slots over here, for example. Or yeah, I guess we'd have to figure out what direction. Does it go out to the right, up, left, or down? And it might look like, oh, there's space for it to go down, right? But the problem with that is once we get the other stands, that's taking up the space. So we could move this. We can make this 3 by 2. So we have a rectangle here of treasure chests, and we have a rectangle here of keys. That might be nice. I have much more fun. I'm only staying because of golden handcuffs. Didn't you say you have a plan to disengage by April? I thought the plan was to start doing the 1099 contracts and everything you were talking about. Also, did CJR leave? Yes. Very strange. I gotta get my yearly bonus big RSUs. Yeah. Yeah, I think we should move this stuff then. I think this should be a rectangle and this should be a rectangle. Which means we gotta gotta change the terrain and gotta change the positions he's going. Also, we gotta change what order you unlock them in. I guess these 2, then these 2, then these 2. We could also move some of these to the left a bit and move this down. Well, all I can say is this is going to be a little bit annoying. Yeah. Oh, what are you going to do? So let's go figure it out. Did it just crash Godot? It did. I didn't even do anything. I just clicked a tab. All right, let's load it up again. Hello, Lane. Did a job interview yesterday for a minimum wage burger joint. Said it was 3 rounds of interviews. Didn't even make it past the first. Three rounds of interviews? Just to be clear, are we talking about you're working tech at a minimum wage burger joint, or you're working as a burger facing job, as in cashier, chef, etc.? Because yeah, 3 rounds of interviews sounds a little crazy to me. It makes me wonder. I was gonna flip burgers. I see. Yeah, it makes me wonder if there's been some core problem at that place that they're trying to weed out, like people getting the job and then leaving after a month or something, or management is just bad. I don't know. All right, so close out of everything else. Didn't know normal jobs did rounds like the tech world. I was stunned. I've heard of rounds of interviews, but not usually for minimum wage jobs. I don't know when the last time I've heard of that is. Or if there were rounds for a minimum wage job, it was like 2. And it was like have a phone call and then meet in person or something. That sounds much more reasonable to me. Strange. Okay, so what we got to do is we got to change the positions of these things. Let's go into this treasure room. We have 4. Where's the position data? Right here. Okay, so how's this work? 66 has 2 of them, 108. So 24 moves over to 150. And then this moves to here. Okay, so that looks good now. I'm happy with that. Then we need to go change key storage. So we have number of displays per column is 2. And the max number of displays is going to be 6 now. And then we just need to make this look pretty. So yeah, let's go try it. I think we just need to extend the ground a little bit. So let's see if I did this correctly. Oh, drat, add storage. Okay. I did do it correctly, but you start at level 4 or something? Yeah, number of starting displays. I'll just set this a max key storage level. All right, let's try that again. Okay, so build key storage. So there's our 6 slots. And then treasure stands, you build the bottom 2 first, and then the ones on the right. So now what we need is to save this and to get the terrain to kind of match and maybe move these over a little bit. There's no super easy way to do this. So let's get this. We need to paint this in like there and there. And then I think I want to move all of this to the right. Which, how do we even do that? Oh, here we go. I can't just move this to the right. Oh, that's the treasure chest displays. I can move that. What's creating the items then? What is creating the items? Applying for a sweep-based roll. What's your current roll? And yeah, I agree. You won't know until you try. Plus, it doesn't sound like there's very high risk. Where do we add the next display? Get next display position. Item display start X and Y. Where is that? There it is. 0 and 0. I don't understand that, to be honest. Because 0, 0 isn't up here. So how is this doing this? Y delta, X, start X plus num displays. Build top to bottom, Y delta, number of displays. So if we had 0, then if we had 0, yeah. Strange. Oh, the origin is right there? But then how is it? It's like that point. I don't understand how it's ending up there. Application engineer, Linux-based processor, SME. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I still say go for it. I think you should try it out. Huh. Strange. Yeah, I don't know what's doing this. Because I don't see how it would get up to that point. But we could just lower this anyway. And maybe, let's see, lower it and move it to the right a little bit. We can move it to the right by maybe like 8 pixels. Well, I don't know what we're gonna do about that one. And then as far as moving it down, maybe like a couple pixels. So that. And then we just try that again. How's that look? I think it's better. I don't know. We need to fix up the terrain still. So let's do that. All right, so ground, click there. So add a little bit of that. That looks nicer. And now over here, we put that. We can cut that one out maybe. No, I think we need to have that there. And then move it farther to the right even. We should move the whole treasure room to the right at this point. Yeah, let's move the item stands a little bit more to the right. Not too much, maybe also 6 pixels. I didn't get to save that fast enough. Oh, that did work. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, let's see how it is once workers are involved. They have any collision problems or anything? No, they look like they're fine. I mean, they are walking around those trees. Maybe we should just move the treasure chest slightly to the left. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. And then move this. Perfect. We're just nudging some things around. Ever taken a look at boot dev? What do you think? I have a membership, but only done the first beginner stuff. No, I haven't. Yeah. All I know is that they've been sponsoring some YouTubers, but I haven't looked at what they do. The thing is, for me, I don't really have much of a need to look at something like that. So it would just be for if I would recommend it to other people. And at that point, I think people should probably just do their own research. All right, this is good. Yeah, this is good. I do want to move the whole thing to the right just a little bit. Then I'm going to stop doing this stuff because this is taking up a lot of time for very, very little gain. All right, so width, treasure room, sign position. So we want to move the whole room to the right a little bit. Honestly, I don't want to even figure this out. So let's just call it there. That stuff looks good. That's good. That's good. And we'll change here. Yeah. Okay, so add 2 key storage slots. I moved around the treasure room. I moved the contents of the treasure room around to make it look more aesthetically pleasing. And then this is add UID files. Okay, those are all the observations. Those are done. That's done. We should do another playtest myself, of course, but what do we have here? Clean this up, add treasure room to the quick move menu. Perks, when this PR is done, do that. Yeah. Okay, great. So let's do the cleanup stuff. Probably need to change the text of some perks and rebalance some things for story mode. I'm actually not concerned at all about story mode. So maybe let's not focus on that. And here's what we're going to do instead. Start town perks. We're going to have you start with 100 town perks. This is going to pretty much break the game, but it's also going to make it so that I can just look through the perks list and see what's wrong. I'm actually not totally sure. I think it's going to spawn some like mega notification at the beginning. So I click new game, I refund all of this, and I start a scenario, and we should see a very large notification on the side. Yep. And this is practically full. So I want to remove all of these Atomar icons. But I also want to look through the tooltips for the treasure chest stuff. Just ask because they released a course on retrieval augmented generation, which seems to be a new backend thing. Thought maybe specializing in it might open up some opportunities, but I'm a noob. Well, let me say this. You already have the membership. So I would just say there's no cost for you other than the time you have to input to try it out. But even if you didn't have a membership, there are other ways you could learn about this stuff. I don't know how long it would take to specialize in kind of anything to do with software, but I think it'd take more than just a course. It'd probably take working in some projects and seeing what other people do and getting some feedback on what you're doing. But yeah, I think it's never too soon to start that stuff. Okay, so we've got to find, yeah, like this sort of thing. Flying guild supplies. Each item within a treasure chest has a chance to automatically fly to the guild when the chest is open. Cool. So we're just trying to look at tooltips for all the treasure things here. Adds treasure stands, which lets you open more treasure chests at the same time. Sounds good. We just got to find any other, oh, here we go. The weapon grinder will produce special keys more frequently. Special keys are all keys other than iron key. They can change a loot in chest or open chest immediately. Maybe let's just say open chests faster. Yeah. Or open chests immediately. So, and open chests sooner. Maybe faster. I don't know which one's correct to say there. Do you notice issues with certain quick text in a span? So yeah, there's some oddities every once in a while. Like if I type too quickly, if I'm like test, okay, so there, it just happened. I typed 'N test. And in expanding this text, what it does is it then deletes the the shortcut, but I was already typing test at that point. So it deleted these two characters and left the apostrophe. So yeah, that happens. The it not triggering thing is because of how its internal buffer works, probably. I say this because here's the scenario. Let's say you type an apostrophe and then you click somewhere else and type an N. It reset its internal buffer because a click is treated as, well, you might have gone to another application. Like it doesn't know, or you might have gone to a different place in the same application. So I can type back apostrophe and then click and then N, and it will not expand. Same thing with arrow keys. If I type left, right, and then N, it won't expand because again, it doesn't know what an arrow key does. An arrow key in this program will actually move the cursor, but an arrow key in Vim might not do that depending on your mode. And yeah, so it doesn't, it's just like, well, I'm going to give up then. But if you ever do just type like your shortcut and then a delimiter, it should expand. If it doesn't, it's because it has something else in the buffer that I guess I couldn't have known about. Maybe you like alt tabbed in a way that the program doesn't know. But anyway, in order to work around any of those things, you can pretty much just press escape or an arrow key and it'll clear the buffer. So like if I type a whole bunch of stuff and then escape, it's gonna still complete this thing. I can go into that in more detail if that seemed too fast or that wasn't clear. Thanks, head moderator EJ, for subbing. Wow, I didn't even have to come up with my own thank you message. Thanks, head moderator EJ, for typing out head moderator EJ's resubscription method. No, really, I do appreciate it. And 63 months is pretty crazy. All right, so we've changed that one. We got to change all these other ones. How are you doing, EJ? Are there any other ones here? There should be free yeah, here it is. Free treasure chest. Get a free treasure chest every so often. That sounds good. Anything else? I can't think of anything else. This is the last one. Treasure chests start with more items in them. Oh, looks pretty good. Okay. So I think that's everything. No, that's good. I've noticed on the Core in 4.1 I can't get escape key to work. Really? Huh. If you can, see if you can get some sort of event viewer or keystroke monitor, something like that. Like on Mac, I have Carabiner event viewer. So when I press a key on my keyboard, if I just press escape, it gets escape down and then escape up. So I could see is something wrong on my keyboard and type out a whole bunch of stuff and see what's happening here. And how am I doing? I'm doing pretty well. I'm gonna launch another version, excuse me, to playtesters today, and I'm looking forward to that. I want to see what people think of the new treasure system. Is there anything else we need to still get here? There should be no new perks, I hope. So I'm going to go through these, but this should not take very long. Yeah, there's nothing here. Yeah, that's it. That's all of the perks now. Got them all. So there's, what, like 106 or 107 perks or something in the game? Not too bad. So I think all of these are correct then. Change the special keys perks tooltip. So we've done this for challenge mode. I haven't done this for story mode. And I guess I'll go look at them, but I think story mode is going to change. So I don't think this is really all that worthwhile. But yeah, let's still take a look. So here, allows you to select which adventurer's loot will start inside a treasure chest. I think this is still working. Like if I click Archer, it's guaranteed to have a quiver in it. They're all quivers. Is that always what happens? They're all cloaks. It must always be what happens. Like the odds of that happening would be incredibly slim. It's like 1 out of 10,000 or something. Huh, interesting. Well, I guess that's kind of nice. What happens if you add other items into them? Like if I put the gold key into here, yeah, it just adds random stuff. I like that. Yeah. I think that was unintentional, but it's working pretty well. So let's just keep it. All right, what else do we have? Auto opening allows the treasure spirit to take the fun out of manually opening treasure chests by convincing them to open for you. The weapon grinder will produce special keys more frequently. Special keys are all keys other than iron key. They can change the loot in chests and open chests faster. It says they can change the loot in chests. They do change the loot in chests. Maybe it's just that they augment the loot in chests and open chests faster. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. All right, next up, auto purchasing allows a treasure spirit to purchase treasure chests on its own. Treasure stands we already looked at, and then innate keys. Okay, so this is just totally wrong. Purchase chests start as though they have some of these special keys applied to them. This should not exist anymore. And I'm not even certain what happens when you get this. Like, let's click it and then buy a treasure chest. I'll click mage here. Yeah, I didn't do anything. I think I deleted this code. Yeah, I did. And we even have it right here. It should probably be deleted entirely. All right, well, anyway. Fix tooltip of special keys. Get all the icons collected. All right, this we're going to save for the very end, I think. Change abilities that take in a level to take in an abilities component instead, so the caller doesn't need to know the ID of the ability. That's nice, but how do I find these? I should have written an example. I guess I go to the abilities folder. Game source, where's abilities? Abilities, and then just search for level, int level. There are too many abilities. Huh. Surprisingly, none of these are what I want, except for that one. Did I only code this in one place? If so, oh no, 2 and then 3. Yeah, so no, 4. So there are 4 places that I did this. I wonder how I got myself into that. I probably copy pasted, especially because they're all treasure room things. So let's open them all up and then we'll just fix all of them. Yeah, so looking at any one of these, this takes in a level. What I wanted to take in is an abilities component. And then this is num keys. And this is like so. Been doom scrolling for the past 30 minutes? Doom scrolling what site? I want to do this for everything. Yeah. YouTube Shorts. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, I have watched incredibly few YouTube Shorts because it's pretty much only when someone links me something specific. Otherwise, I hide them all on YouTube and I like don't go to the Shorts tab because I don't want to get stuck in that. I watch enough YouTube as it is, and I think if I watched YouTube Shorts, I'd probably watch too much. But like now, I do eventually get bored of what I'm looking at and stop watching YouTube. And I think with Shorts, the whole point is you never get bored. All right, that's it. We just changed all these. Now it's going to cause probably 4 syntax errors. Or not syntax errors, but I guess like type mismatch errors. Need to get it out of my system. I'm trying to formulate a thought here. Yeah, I don't think it's worth sharing my thoughts. If I were to calculate time I spend on YouTube Shorts, it's so stupid. Well, one thing that's worthwhile to consider is I think everyone still needs some entertainment time, or like pure entertainment time. There's no way you can justify it as being productive. It's like, yeah, you're just watching some silly video online. And I think it's okay. I think you need some of that. I think there is probably a limit to how much you need. And it's not bad to have a want for it. I think when it's bad is when you feel like it's stopping you from doing other things. And I think kind of the real problem is the instant gratification loop. And I think that's very hard to work on. So sorry, we're just bursting into chat yesterday and then not watching the stream or explaining myself. Yeah, it's totally fine to share a clip. Also, that's also fine. Leave your girl. A bunch of people do that already. I do have a link or a note to myself to watch it. Hey, Bazooka, how goes it? All right, so we just changed all of these things to be town.player abilities. And then ideally, this level never comes into play again. Yeah. All right, I like that. What about the next one? Yep, nice. Yeah, this is just going to clean up the code a little bit. And that's it. We're good. Now we might also get rid of a using line, which we did. So this is even better. That one didn't, presumably because ability ID is used somewhere. Yeah, here, that's fine. The diode is defective. Actually doesn't receive any press. Interesting. That's not too hard to fix, at least. Am I well rested? I'm feeling pretty good. I had to get up a little earlier than normal to go to the DMV this morning. And it was pretty fast. Well, the appointment was pretty fast. I still had to drive there and back. And that was slower. I was in Windy Stream this morning, and I said I have to go to the DMV. And I intentionally didn't type out what it stands for. It's Department of Motor Vehicles. But Windy doesn't live in the US. And he still knew what it meant. And he still knows that there's a reputation of, like, well, I think he knows this, getting stuck at the DMV. I actually think the DMVs around here are pretty good. Okay, so what did I just do? And yeah, I guess everything's fine. All right, so this is just a minor cleanup. Change function signature for ergonomics. Done. Treasure chest, less loot, may not be needed or may need to act differently. Does this even work? It doesn't. No. Starts around 18 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, I do have a note to myself to check that out. But yeah, I'll check out the clip too. And thanks for sharing. Hope Kid had a good stream yesterday. Do I want this? What do I want to do here? I guess having less loot would just be to start with fewer items in the chest. And I'm not using it now. It should be pretty easy to just code again in the future. But we do have it here now. I'll just delete it. Yeah, I'll just delete it. And I guess as long as we're deleting it, and I'm going to be wiping out save files, I might as well just change all these IDs, right? Yeah. So -1. Why'd this one mess up? I must have subtracted 10 or something. I don't know. All right, how's that looking? Yeah, good. And now this gets deleted. Is there anything it's doing that also needs to stay around? No. Okay. So delete treasure chest, less loot. It wasn't being used and I don't have immediate plans to use it. It wouldn't be that hard to code again. So all we did is, yeah, get rid of it. Okay. And then innate keys should probably be deleted is what I wrote. Treasure room, innate keys. Well, nothing's happening with this, right? Like I never call this function anywhere. If I just search for innate keys, it doesn't show up anywhere else. It shows up in the tree. Oh, and we have an icon for it. What does the icon look like? I like that. Well, how many keys do we even have that aren't the iron key? We have the gold key, the omni key, and the skeleton key. And if we apply the skeleton key, it'll mean the chest will just automatically open. I think we just delete this. Yeah, I think we delete this. Hey, Thorn. When your AI skeletons running around makes me wonder if anyone's made a good puzzle game where you need to path AI around by placing stuff and hitting buttons. It's kind of interesting. I think something that's sort of similar to that, which I know sounds very different, is that pipe game with the redirecting the flow of water. Have you ever seen a game like this? like this one basically. So you have a source and a destination, and you need to rotate these to connect them. It's sort of like if you had skeletons moving along a path, what you'd kind of be doing here. It's just a different visual representation of it, but it'd be probably the same general mechanic. But yeah, could be cool. Let's go. Got it to work. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah. See, this is why I think the debugging process is so interesting. It's ruling out like classes of issues sometimes. And in this case, it was seeing what does the OS see? And in your case, it was nothing. So then that leads you to conclude, well, if other keys are working, it must be a problem with that key or that circuitry. So it was either the switch or the diode or the substrate in the PCB, I guess. Or wait, substrate the right thing? The copper, I guess. Not the substrate. Gameplay would be like getting it to go into in rooms in specific orders and make doors that only can get walked through once, etc. Yeah. Yeah, I could see a game like that working. I think one of the interesting things about coming up with a game mechanic is then trying to go from that to a game. And sometimes a mechanic is interesting, but getting it to be difficult is hard. So then you add like a time or like a number of moves you can do or some other complexity without making it too complex. I've mentioned this before, but I once made a game where you had a grid of spaces. So something like this, and you might be, let's say, here. And then there were arrows at various parts in this grid. So let's say something like that and like that. And there was, I think, a goal. So let's say this is the goal. So X is you and G is the goal. And how this would work is you would move between this. So you just, press WASD or something and you move like here, for example. Then this arrow would move all the way down and block you. So it would move to there, for example, if you moved here. And this now became a wall. And then if you moved, let's say, up to here, then this right arrow would move all the way over and become a wall. Well, it was a pretty easy to understand mechanic, but it wasn't very difficult. So I had to, in order for you to get to the goal, I had to limit how many moves you could make because otherwise it just wasn't that hard to do. Baba is you is goal, easy. Yeah, that was the solution for this one. You just press delete twice. X equals you equals goal. I played a cow maze game. The hardest maze game I think I've ever played is one with no visuals whatsoever. And you had to listen to when you hit a wall and then like map out the maze yourself in your head. So you could play the whole game with your eyes closed. You just needed headphones or something. And you'd press like up, 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 and then you hear like a bonk sound or something. It was very, very tough. It's not very fun either. This was back in the days of Allegro. Does that still exist? It does, liballeg. It used to be called allegro.cc or something. Hang on a second. Does that site still exist? Oh, it does still exist. Is it going to load? It does load. Man, I'm surprised it still exists. I wonder if it shows up in like puzzle games still. Maze. There's a listing. I think this is where I got it from. Well, maybe it doesn't have maze in the name. Or maybe it wasn't from here. I don't know. Man. Mega Man X clone. What is this? Very incomplete, very buggy tribute to Mega Man X. When was this made? Is there a date on here? Date 2006. My goodness. Screenshots. Wow. Wow. One of the free Epic games this week is a Mega Man clone. What's that called? Let me see if I can find it. I kind of want to try it. Gravity Circuit is what it's called. Gravity Circuit Steam. Is it well reviewed? Yeah, it's pretty good. Huh. Yeah, this is the free game of the week too. So if you go to Epic Games, you can get this. Yeah, it very much looks like Mega Man, except for the color palette reminds me more of Game Boy Color than it does of Super Nintendo. But yeah, I'm probably gonna try this out. It looks cool. Thanks, Bazooka. Yeah, I like this shirt. Okay, where do we leave off of this? Delete innate keys? Yeah, that's too bad. All right. Well, let's go get innate keys. We can use this for something else, but I'm going to move this for now to the unused folder. Unused move. Okay, done. And then we delete all of this. Are these used anywhere? Key IDs in regular mode? Nope. Key IDs in challenge mode? Nope. Okay, well, goodbye, code. Goodbye forever. Innate keys goes away. We subtract 1 from all of these. And then any references to innate keys we also delete. Oops, innate keys. This goes away. I mean, we might as well cram in the other couple of perks here, right? Oh, why not? Yeah, let's just put in lots of loot. And what was the other one called? Oh, I don't remember. Flying guild supplies. Anything else? No, that's it. All right, anywhere else that we have innate keys? Just icon IDs. I think it's okay to keep those for now. Do we use the unused folder here? No, we don't. So it is accurately named. All right, let's try running it. Okay, so we click. Oh, it won't work. Oh, because my save file won't get loaded. I think we need to delete all my save files. rmcmsave.json. And did that work? What happened? There. And then save.json. There. Now we reload. So now it's going to find that we don't have those files. It's going to create a new one. So we got to go do that again where we make the treasure room. Thankfully, it's pretty easy to do. Click and we're done. And click this. So yeah, now we have these two things here. I need to fix the icons, of course. And we don't really have icons for those. But if I click it, let's see what happens. It should start with 8 items. Yeah, nice. And then flying guild supplies. They should just pretty much go to the guild now. Most of them. Yep, pretty cool. Cool. Delete innate keys. The icon is now in the unused folder. I also added the bone mode perks to story mode, just so that there's something interesting there. Okay. And now for this. This is the sucky work. We got to go figure out where we've got icons. Like these we know about. So lots of loot and flying guild supplies. Flying guild supplies and lots of loot. But is there anything else? I don't have any unlocked perks here. I think all of the generated ones are broken too. I'm not going to worry about that for right now. Do we have a graphic that could kind of fit for those? Like maybe I just copy one for now. Not really. No. Oh well, fine. All right, well, let's do the thing. Let's take a picture. Let's go modify our requests. Perk icons. Lots of loot. And then what's the other one called? Flying guild supplies. Man, I don't know how I feel about this stuff. Because, like, yeah. Okay, now we go manifest icons for those. So we got to go find Atom Art, I guess. Where is Atom Art? I don't even see it. Icons. There it is. It's a ping, though. I guess we could just copy any other treasure graphic. Like this one. Auto purchasing. We'll just use that for all of them. Auto, whoops. Purchase. Lots of loot. And flying guild supplies. Okay, now we go get icon IDs for those. Lots of loot, flying guild supplies. Alphabetize them. Same thing over here. Lots of loot and flying guild supplies. And as usual, alphabetize these two. Don't forget, there's also Atom Art B and Atom Art P. Those are the tier 2 and tier 3 sub things because I just did not value coming with real ones. And are we done? No, we're not done yet. We got to also manifest them here. Instead of icon ID done none, it's going to be lots of loot, and flying guild supplies is the same way. It should know how to fix this itself. I shouldn't need to type anything. Really? I've got to press delete on my own keyboard? What do I pay you for, AI? I wonder if someday that's how it'll work. Like right now I'm paying for AI. What if someday you're paying AI? There's some robot and it's like, yeah, I'll do that task for you, but it'll cost you $1. Oh, that wasn't alphabetized? Did I manually alphabetize it wrong? I wonder if we renamed it or something. It's a manifest icons for treasure abilities. Okay. So this is done, this is done, this is done, this is done, and this is now done. So all we need to do is test this again, I think. Is there anything else I want to do? Make sure this isn't showing impossible. Yeah, I think that's it. So let's do another run. Hang on a second. I need to make a save file. Well, I guess let me just hold off on this for now. Yeah. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fake our way through the first like couple of challenges so that I can try one of the later ones that I haven't tried already. I did adventuring. What's the next one? Industry. I did that one. I don't think I did the one after that. Galaxy Inferno. Local developer keeps playing his own game on stream. Actually get into game development. Seems a lot of gaming. It actually really, as a percentage overall of this stuff, it hasn't been a lot of game playing, but as of late it has been because of all these changes I've been making. Oh, hey, this is the start with the treasure room one. Won't that be great? So let's start with a bunch of adventurers too, because I feel like this is overpowered. And then, no, I want 2 levels of that, 1 level of that. And what should the last level go into? Yeah, more starting customers. And then I guess I even have another upgrade. Yeah, neat. Okay, so let's start this. All right, we're going to play through this and see how does this one feel. And are there any problems here? We have a couple of adventures. We can even hire another one. We can get that. We can do... Yeah, sure, let's get the cleric. Throw them in a battle as well. We started with a bunch of treasure. We have a ton of items in here. Yeah, when there's more game. Yeah. All right. Nice. I like this. What should I build next? Probably something to level up my adventures. Oh, garbage slime's pretty good. We'll get some money. We got our first key. Click. Nice. It's important that you say click as you click. That's how will the game know. Wow, we can get a lot of keys early on, huh? I guess once you start with adventurers, it's not very hard to get these. And then we can already get loot. Wow. That's a lot of loot. Yeah, this is just cruising along. We do need some potions, though. Nice. I can get another adventurer. There's another worker. Pretty good. Dump these in there. Getting some more keys. Okay, we definitely don't need all of this. Let's go to the next place. And hire one more adventurer. I'll get the golem. We don't need any of those. I'm not getting weapons yet. Come on. Come on. Still no space. Alright, throw the golem in. And dump all those. That. They want a cloak. There are 1 million cloaks up there. Certainly no shortage. I can open one of these treasure chests. Oh, the graphics aren't showing up because I forgot to do that. That must have messed up the import files. Yeah, well, whatever. Good thing I opened that up. Realized there was an issue. They're still buying cloaks, but they've got way too many. Okay, so let's probably build something else. Get the farm. Dump that in there. Yep. We still don't need another cloak. I'm just gonna get rid of that. And I'll get some town perks now. Customer speed sounds good. Loot magnet sounds good. We're gonna eventually get that. I like entropic magic. So I need the enchanter. Wow. This is going very smoothly. Alright, let's turn that on. Some keys, you say? Overpowered, you say? Wow, I don't even have to move these things in there. It's pretty great. Alright, they're taking their sweet time winning. Could sure use some carrots here. Do I have any items? I have a couple. I guess let's turn that on again. Oh, a skeleton key. Yeah, so this should be powering everybody up too. Anything for me? Yes, yes, yes. Alright, I think they can probably go to the next location now. They're probably stupidly powerful because of the treasure room. Like, what level have they gotten to? They've all gotten to level 5? Which means they're getting plus 10 power. That's like the majority of the golem's power is coming from treasure. Yeah, they're beating this. I think this is a little overpowered. Just a little. Just a little. Yeah, enough of those. Oh, let's get the Enchanter's Den. I would really like the Enchanter's Den. And even though we're getting a free treasure chest every 30 seconds, we're kind of just cranking through these things. Hey, Cypher. Blurry items replaced with regular item. Yeah, I think just reseeding the lens mostly fixed it. It did happen again after that, so I don't know. Is it just dying or what? And I am not looking forward to it eventually dying. Oh, wait, no, I want to build the Enchanter's Den. Yeah, nice. Oh, we got 2 spells. And I guess we might as well get the fishing pond at this point. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, nice. It's all going great. I don't need to do anything. Oh, that's really good too. Alright, so I should probably hire some more adventurers so we can get more loot. But I wonder if they can take on even the next location. They're doing very little damage, but they're also not really anywhere close to dying. And this mode's supposed to feel broken when it comes to treasure, and it does so far. So mission accomplished. Are they able to beat this? I'll get another adventurer anyway. Who is also, yeah, like level 6. They're not doing great. The cleric can't keep up with healing. They might not win. It's going to be close. Yeah, it's going to be very close, because now it's just going to be a one-on-one. Cleric versus this thing. I think the cleric's going to win, but I think it's going to take them a very long time to win. Let's meantime send the witch doctor into here to get something. Hey, Jack and hide. You must not let him win. It reminds me of one of the Paper Mario plots. Or maybe Super Mario Sunshine. All right, kill it. Kill it. Okay, whew, that's a lot of loot. All right, let's get all of the keys. And dump these things in there. Put our boots into there. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so turn this off. They're probably gonna lose. I don't even... Do I want these? I guess I do. I guess I just need to put some keys into here. Yeah, this is gonna power everybody up a lot. And put that into that one, that into that one, there. Good. Okay, now they're destroying them. We powered them up too much. Yeah, none of this matters. I feel like we've already trivialized the game here. Power leveling? Sure, why not? Who did that give it to? The Witch Doctor? Witch Doctor's not in that battle, though. Oh, and we have too many items now, too. Sure, sure. I guess get more keys. What are we, just like stupidly winning now? This is ridiculous. Yeah, this is ridiculous. I don't think it should be this easy. Huh. One of the best Mario games. I didn't play a lot of it. I liked what I did play, but I've never beaten it. And then I got that, what was it, on the Switch? I got like Galaxy, Sunshine, and 64 all in one. And I 100%ed Super Mario 64. I would not say I had a lot of fun doing that. I find that game to be less enjoyable each time I play it. And then I played a very tiny bit of Galaxy and a very tiny bit of Sunshine. All right, yeah, we're getting too much stuff. How to enter the playtest? There is the playtest command. And yes, we're definitely looking for playtesters. Have you tried the demo? Because that's like required reading for the playtest version. All right, I'm just gonna buy some treasure chests now. And I should probably get some more adventurers next. Yeah, I think that's gonna be important. 100% is a nightmare. Yeah, it's not fun as a casual player. I get that it's a thoroughly speedrun game. I like watching speedruns of it. Alright, I guess send these characters in here. Do I even... I think I want to turn this off. We can get some more keys. Yeah, we're getting almost too many keys now. Even though I know you're not, and that's not even my name. Sorry, Super Mario Inferno codes. Is that better? Happens in DM. Okay, cool. Yeah. But have you played the demo already, Jack and Hyde? Because if you haven't, you would need to play the demo first. That's already freely available. Yeah, I think. Ooh, lots of loot. Apparently did not start with that. So they're winning in 18 seconds. Can they beat this area? They're like level 3. I have a whole bunch of keys over here. Give me all the treasure. They are beating this? Seriously? Alright, this is a little much, I think. I get that this is the treasure mode and it should probably feel overpowered, but it's like very overpowered. Yeah, we're getting all of the items. Okay, let's just auto buy some treasure chests and make this even faster, I guess. Why not? And turn this on. And turn this on again. Yeah. Alright. Now we have nothing we can do with money. How much is this doing in terms of damage? 15? This should go up every time we get the guild supply level up, right? I just need to find the witch doctor items. Did we get any? Yeah, we're getting some. Alright, what does it say now? 17. Yeah, it is going up. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Very, very cool. Alright, so we're going to do this for another couple minutes where we just like power level everybody. And then probably break off and do... try to just get money. These characters can probably go here. Is that another skeleton key? No. Yeah, I'll buy a town perk. Sure, customer speed. I wonder if they can beat the final location now. I'll get rid of these. I don't want those. Okay, let's send them in. Can they? I'm at 12 minutes. This seems stupidly fast. Does the game work on MacBook? Yes, it does. I'm playing on a Mac right now. Alright, they don't look like they're going to win this. Which is kind of good because that would be a little bit ridiculous. Yeah, I'll just stop this. I don't think they're going to win. They would have 2 more waves to go through anyway. Alright, so we can get some of these. I am just funneling everything into the treasure room up there. Yeah. Wow. We need some weapons. Okay, now I'm going to turn this off. I think we have enough treasure at this point. We'll open those still. I'll stock some of those potions. We'll get rid of some of the gloves. Yeah. And then we'll open some of these up. There we go. Wow. Yeah, now we're getting too much stuff. Oh, we're also fighting in the jungle. Am I winning there? I must be. Or else I wouldn't be getting boots, right? Yeah, so let's take them out. Go fight in the fishing pond. Turn this thing on. Put all my potions in there. Dump these things. Yeah, the game should work on that Tyvex, yeah. How much is in the current demo? Just curious how much has been added since I last played it. Almost nothing new in terms of game time. Like, it's still about 2 hours of gameplay. I've been mostly focusing all the efforts on the new mode, bone mode. Okay, man, everything's going too fast. We gotta do some stuff here. Impulse buying would probably be pretty good, and then we can put some items in here and do that, and then more items in there, and get some of those. Back out of that, do these things. We need a couple potions in there. Yeah. Okay, now I have too much clicking to do. Because I gotta buy all this stuff. Let's get that. I don't want any of that. I don't want any of that either. That one's good. Food critic I'll take. And yeah, loot magnum potency. Okay, now we can click this. Not enough mana. Alright, that's fine. We'll just open every single treasure chest. Okay, now I bet they could beat the final location. Let's try it out. I don't know at what treasure level they're able to do that, but I feel like it should be pretty soon. And we can funnel our money back into this for a little bit. There we go. Turn that off. Let's grind up some keys. Come on. There we go. Just keep taking the keys. Yep. Wow. They don't look like they're doing so hot. Oh, wait, no. They made it to wave 3. Never mind. What am I talking about? Yeah, they're doing fine. They're going to win. I think. Yeah. All right, now how many items do we get? A lot. Didn't realize it's been long. Wow, yeah. Yeah, it'll probably look a lot different, although you're seeing it on stream right now, but it probably won't feel all that different. I don't care about any of those too much. That one's pretty good. Yeah, so we're gonna work toward winning now. Yeah, expanded potion shop. Let's get it. Yeah, we're out of items again. I guess I should send the other characters into the jungle. I probably should have hired more adventurers. Okay, I like this, though. I think this feels sufficiently overpowered. And yeah, the more adventurers I have, the more I will be able to just stomp these other locations. So these characters are beating this pretty easily. I don't even need more treasure. How long are these taking to win? Because it does look like it's taking them a decently long time. 46 seconds. Okay. Put one of those in there. Get a fish. Nice. Get another fish. Ooh. Quicker strike. Okay. Gonna be quite the increase in DPS. Yeah, they're beating everything. Wow. All right, fine. Might as well. I'll just turn on auto purchasing. We'll just get all the treasure again. It's fun. Might as well break the game. Sure, put that stuff in. I don't even. What do I even do? Did we get that thing? We did. Yeah. Wow. Wow. I need more workers. Yeah. Alright, I guess we should turn this off now, huh? I didn't even have maxed out special keys. Alright, let's turn this off. Let's just go for money now. Yeah. Oh, put a couple of those in there so I get some more fish. But otherwise, yeah, just let the workers clear this out. I need... Oh, wow. Out of space. Alright, I want to do that. Yeah, we're slowly getting rid of these items. We're going to win pretty soon, and then I'm going to probably work toward publishing this. So crazy. Like a million items. Anything that'll make my characters move faster. Oh, that'll help. I don't need any of that. Ooh, grant storage. I like that. Shiny loot's good. Tropic magic is good. Where did the year go? Went into watching the stream and nothing else. Yeah, we have 10% left to do here, so we're almost done. And I'm just trying to stock these things as quickly as I can. I think this felt pretty good. I wonder what our time's going to be in the end. Probably 20 minutes. That's my guess. Yeah, 20. That's what I'm going with. I need these potions over there. If I can cast this spell, I pretty much just win. There. Nice. Done. Okay. Yeah, we're 1% away. Almost. Why is it not happening? There. Ooh. Okay, so what was that time? 27 minutes is what that was supposed to take. And it's 20. All right. Well, it works. Treasure room is pretty good now. So these import files should have been amended, right? Yeah. Wait, that didn't work. There. So the last thing we have to do is run .NET format. And then we're pretty good here, right? We just go merge the branch, switch back to main. Merge branch, switch back to main. So relevant, you're speedrunning your own game. I'm not really trying to speedrun the game. I think if I were, I'd be going much more frantically. Whereas I was at like 80% level of franticness. All right, no changes. Nice. We just go merge the branch. And then write some patch notes, etc., etc. Revamp treasure room. The goal of most of this was to make the treasure room feel more desirable. Where are all the commits? Here they are. Yeah, so let's just read through these really fast. Treasure, treasure, treasure. Doesn't matter. Treasure, doesn't matter. Treasure, treasure. Yeah, pretty much everything was for treasure, right? Yeah. This isn't even my final form. I really, really wonder if Skeleseller became popular, would people try to speedrun it? Because I don't think it'd be very fun. I think there are two like high level portions of speedrunning. I think there's figuring out the meta game and routing, and then there's executing on it. And I think this would be very short. Like, you would probably know what all the breakpoints are for certain things, and then executing. Yeah, I don't think it's very fun to execute on this. You're just moving items around mostly. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe Skeleseller will make it to GDQ someday. Okay, so I'm going to go merge this. And then we're going to switch back to main. And click this. And then we just need to do a release. Wow. I don't know why this feels so surreal. I've been doing this the last couple weeks too, but yeah. Let's kick it off. Oh, wait, no, I didn't set the password, did I? It's probably going to fail. Ugh. Hang on a second. Let's delete this. Give me 1 sec. What is that environment variable called? Metric server URL. Hang on a second. Yeah, I don't have these set. Give me a minute. Oops. Oh my God, what am I doing? Yeah, okay. Engage privacy mode. Yeah. I have to do some things. There's a password I got to type in, and I got to go find that password. Here it is. All right, HUNTER, then 2. Nobody copy what I just said. It's just for me. Clear. Copy that. The play button. Okay, I can probably show that on screen now, but I'm not going to. So I want a playtest version 0.9.16. And it is exporting now. Does it just delete the save away from under me? Probably not. It won't update. Right, yeah, it won't update. You need to restart. And if you want, I can try to repair your save file so that you have whatever it is you've been doing. But it's pretty easy to just modify it yourself directly, given that you're technical. So you could just edit the JSON if you want. And I can tell you where to edit it if you want to do that. Alternatively, you could, well, no, I turned off cheats, didn't I? Yeah. Anyway, I could tell you how to modify your save file if you want to. Okay, so now what we got to do is we got to come up with the patch notes. And there are a couple that were not in that branch I just did. So we got to go find those. When was the last time I released the playtest version? Must have been a week ago, right? Yeah, October 3rd. So fixed typo doesn't matter, fixed wording doesn't matter, but these things are nice. All right, so added new battle portraits, fixed coloring on the potion spell, and then all of this stuff. Revamp the treasure room. Revamped the treasure room, deleted people's save files. Okay, do you want to upload to Steam? Yes. Give me one sec. Let me look at this really fast. Yeah, nice. Okay. Neat. Should be on Steam. Now I just got to copy this. Hey, Goose, how you doing? How's Gus? Give me a sec. Put this on default. Preview. What is the name of this? Version 0 something something? How far up can I scroll before I accidentally leak something? 0916 set live. Okay, so I need to do this on my phone still. Did that work? I don't even know if that worked. Give me a sec. It didn't navigate away from this, and it usually navigates away. No, yeah, it did not work. Why not? What's happening right now? Oh, there we go. Okay, so I can put it live, but I want to write out the patch notes first, and I haven't done that yet. Make sure to confirm on my phone. Okay, so let's get those patch notes. Playtest news. Yeah, here we go. Let's get back from Oktoberfest. Did you go with Gus? Okay, so 0916. Let's go into hammer time. Copy this. All right, major changes. This stuff. Added new battle portraits. This is a minor change. Fixed coloring on potion spell. It's now properly red. But yeah, revamping the treasure room is the biggest thing. Revamp the treasure room. I gotta write what that actually means. No, way too many people. Gus gonna be crazy there. Hi, Gus. I wonder if that's comfortable for the dog to lay like on their spine on the floor like that. It must be, or they wouldn't do it. So we're gonna copy all of this, and we're gonna figure out what we're gonna write for this. He sleeps like that? Wow. Okay, so what are the important things we did for this? Treasure chests no longer have a quantity times multiplier setup. They just contain individual items. What else? What else? What else? We changed a bunch of numbers and stuff. Allowed for up to 6 treasure chests. Increased number of treasure stands from 4 to 6. That's a nicer way of writing that. What else do we have here? Change timing. I don't think I want to write that stuff. Change cost of keys. Oh yeah, keys are, that's pretty important. Keys are much cheaper. 25 gold to 6 gold. That's all good. Treasure check does loot. Keys have different effects. Yeah, so change the keys. We got to write that. Change keys. Iron key, minus 20 seconds. 10% chance to add an item. Omni key, minus 60 seconds. Adds an Omni orb to the chest. Added Omni orbs to as a treasure item. They count as 1 guild supply for all adventurers. Hey, who cares? Howdy. Adds an Omni orb to the chest. So what else do we have? They have the gold key. Minus 60 second adds 2 items to the chest. And skeleton key. Minus 100, like open immediately. Adds 2 Omni orbs to the chest. All right, what else do we do? Oh yeah, you get free treasure chests by default now. You get free treasure chests every 90 seconds. Without needing a perk, you can upgrade this with a perk. Maybe I should say you can upgrade this via perk though. Yeah. Chests only ever cost 50 gold instead of starting at 25 gold and going up and increasing in cost with every purchase. What else do we do? Auto purchase available by default. I don't really want to write that down. Well, maybe I should. Auto purchasing chests is available by default in bone mode. Oh yeah, moved the weapon, moved key storage to be closer, to be inside the treasure room. Added 2 perks, flying guild supplies. Items from a chest have a chance to fly to the guild immediately. And lots of loot. Chests start with more loot in them. 3 to 5 to 8 items. Anything else? Oh yeah, lowered the amount of supplies it takes to level up. Lowered the amount of supplies it takes to level up. Anything else? To accommodate all of the changes. Minor changes. So what's this one that's here? Yeah, the first scenario in bone mode is now required instead of optional. Yeah, I should say is no longer optional. It's quick and grants upgrade points. So I want players to go through it. I want new players to go through it at least. Rebalanced the meta perk to start with adventurers costs 15G or 15 upgrade points at first. You can get it after the tutorial. That never existed. Nerf the deep forest. Nerfed loot from the deep forest to make the inferno more appealing if you can beat it. Winky face. That's not a winky face. That's a winky face. Oh, there's a typo in that commit. Well, I'm not going to go fix that. Reduce number of levels it takes to max seek food. How many characters do we have? Okay, we have just barely enough for another little thing. Oh yeah, you can now hold 6 keys. Do 6 keys. Raise number of keys stored from 4 to 6. Anything else? Nope, that's it. So just this one. Make the final quest more appealing. The final quest no longer requires the Inferno. Okay, patch notes aren't usually too bad to do. I'm not even gonna put a what to focus on. Well, maybe, I don't know. Just keep trying bone mode. Okay. So here are all the patch notes. I'm gonna now put this online. Done. Hey, somebody joined. Oh yeah, this was Tyven, I think. Okay, so now I've got to. What do I have to do? I should probably test the version I just produced. Open. Yeah, I should probably test that really fast. Yeah, loaded my save file at least. I have a bunch of unlocked perks. What are the new ones? I love Marine Mana. It's so cool. Does it work? Yeah. Nice new battle portraits. We have 1 million customers. Yeah, cool. All right, I'm not going to keep running this. That was just a test. This all changed from the past 6 weeks that were improperly tagged. I guess what I mean is once you've got all of your things listed out, it's not too bad to figure out what's important for players to know and what isn't. Also, I imagine it's a little easier to write patch notes for a game for that reason, because you kind of know what players care about. Like, yeah. All right, so I did this. I did this stuff. Tag Plum Yeti. I gotta reach out to Plum Yeti. Save file getting deleted may be a deal breaker. Maybe provide a new one. Yeah, so that's what I want to do. I want to provide a save file specifically for Plum Yeti, who I think had 30 upgrade points by the time they ended that video. Did they do the tutorial? Maybe they had 45 upgrade points? Hang on, let me go look at this off screen. Plum Yeti. Let me just skip through their video to see. They had 15 to start with, and they did this video. So they ended with 30 then. So I need to go make a save file that gives them 30. So let's quit this and delete my save file. Brain like code, but words. I use many word when few word will do. All right, so all we have to do is that, and then that. And now we have a save file that has scenario 3 unlocked and 30 upgrade points. So I'm going to send this save file to Plum Yeti. CM save. I guess let's put it in temp. Yeah, and I got to reach out with that save file. Copy as path name. Tell them how to use this. It's just open game, click version number at bottom left of title screen, and then overwrite cmsave.json with the file I provide, and then restart the game. Ooh. Yeah, let's fill out the journal. Released a new version with the revamped treasure room. Feeling pretty good. Are there any new Skeleseller videos that I haven't seen? I've watched that. I've watched that. I've watched that. Yeah, I've seen them all. What about on Twitch? Nothing new. All right. So here's what I'm thinking now. It's been about 2 hours. I know it hasn't been a long time, but what I'm thinking is I should go reach out to playtesters. That can't really happen on stream. And then I think, like, I'm debating on streaming in the afternoon just to organize all of the tasks that I have. See how long I can make a game with no documentation and no comments, and see how quickly I forget what literally all my code does. You know, if you were trying to do that, you would probably end up getting better at coding, although I think it wouldn't be on a time scale that would help you drastically. Like, imagine if you were locked in a room and you were immortal and you were just supposed to code all day. You would eventually get used to coding without comments or documentation. So, like, you'd have some way of finding things. I mean, I think the hypothetical breaks down a little bit because if you're immortal, then it's on a time scale that, like, no human can ever deal with. Imagine code you've written 700 years ago. Like, you probably can't keep it all in your head at some point, so you probably do need some documentation. But yeah. I always kind of wondered about that. Like, let's say you had an immortal being and they had a computer and they had notepad.exe and like a C compiler. Would they eventually learn C? Thanks for the explanation. Yeah, thanks for watching it. Because I feel like they would eventually learn it. But I think it all depends on how good the error messages would be from the compiler. Sorry, what the heck does your brain come up with? I think that's an interesting question, right? Because have you heard of the infinite monkey typewriter theory? Which is basically like you give an infinite number of monkeys a typewriter and also infinite time, and they'll eventually type out everything. Like, they'll type out the works of Shakespeare. And people like arguing a very specific point here, which is, do monkeys type purely randomly? I don't think that's the point of the question. I think for this, it's like, assume they type randomly. And if they do type randomly, then the odds of you making a string that contains all of the works of Shakespeare exactly as written it's non-zero, so that means it will eventually happen given enough time. But assuming a monkey never types, let's say, like, you know, T followed by H, then yeah, obviously it can't ever type the works of Shakespeare, because maybe a monkey does not work that way. But yeah, that's not the point. Anyway, this is an interesting thing. So yeah, it makes me think, if you were an immortal being, you are not a purely random being, and you might not have the interest to learn C. I mean, you could just sit in the room forever and type nothing. But yeah, I wonder if you'd eventually learn. Do they just assume they're bored so they try? Do you just assume they're bored so they try? Yeah, something like that. I mean, I was trying to simplify this, but yeah, imagine they had nothing else to do in the room. Like, I imagine they'd probably learn C, and then I imagine they'd start creating like all sorts of cool stuff. Hey, Board IT guy, and hey, Sternblade. Got the keyboard today? This is going to take some time to get used to. Yeah, definitely. My advice is to just start with English stuff. So if you have work in tech, for example, like switch keyboards maybe, so that you don't feel really bad about being slow. But you'll get pretty quick with English. And my other suggestions were, you know, like color code the LEDs for certain keys, especially backspace and delete. And yeah, that's about it. I think the rest you'll kind of figure out. Planet of the Apes is coming true. I haven't seen Planet of the Apes. I didn't realize immortal monkeys were in it. I thought it was just a world ruled by apes. Immortal being locked in a room and all they can do is pass the time as code on Notepad. Sounds like a modern Greek god punishment. I don't think the Greek gods would have been so generous. The Greek gods are like push a boulder up a hill repeatedly, not, hey, here's a programming language, go make whatever your heart desires. Need to change default key map immediately. Right thumb is enter, not space. That's not going, and that's gonna fly free. Yeah, I actually never used my right thumb before this keyboard. I always press space with my left thumb, which is why I have space on my left thumb over here now. And now I use my right thumb for several keys. So at the very least, I got, you know, some amount more efficient maybe. Do you regret not getting a wireless cord? I don't really regret it because I don't think I would have been able to use QMK, and I wanted to use QMK. But I would like a wireless keyboard now. I think it'd be nice. Yeah, not going to play. Just in the times, making you use Notepad and code in C. No, but if it were like a Greek myth, it wouldn't be code in C. It'd be something like you have to keep coding hello world in every different language or something, and you never make it beyond that. I had to test what thumb I even use. Which one is it? Left or right? Because some people alternate, and I don't understand that. Not like with every character that they type, but they switch every once in a while. Right, okay. So is your left thumb doing anything on the keyboard? Do you use it for alt? Or, yeah, anything? Okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna get going for now. I will probably be back in the afternoon. I'd say there's like a 60% chance I come back to streaming today. And if I do, it's probably gonna be organization stuff, which will probably not be very interesting to watch. It seems depending on where my right hand is on the keyboard. Other than that, right most of the time. I think it just has a vacation. Am I using VS Code with Godot? Yeah, I'm using C# VS Code. Welcome in, Enlaw. Yeah, it'll be man versus Dudu, I think. All right, well, thank you all for watching. Again, if you want to join the playtest, there is the link on how to do that. There are the Discord links. And yeah, I might be back, like I said, in a couple hours or something, but don't count on it. So if I see you, I see you. If not, have a great weekend. Thanks for being here, everyone.